All right, 3, 2, 1. It has happened. Pakistan has won a T20 series at home after 3.5 years, much to the surprise of Pakistan current captain Salman Liaga, and much to the surprise of me and my brother here, Bashar Sayyed, the co-host of Backward Point podcast. Bashar, Pakistan has won a home series after 3.5 years. Not only that, Pakistan, it seems like, has taken a giant leap towards modern day cricket and playing cricket the aggressive way and the right way and the way that it should be played. One small step for Salman Aliaga, one giant leap for Pakistan cricket team. Thoughts, feelings?
The last time Pakistan won a home series, backward point was not even a thing. I didn't even know it was been 3.5 years. Last time Pakistan won a home series was against the West Indies, where they won 3-0 in December of 2021.
Now we're talking about T20Is.
Correct.
Specifically, at home. There have been series that we've drawn 2-2. There have been series that we lost 4-3. You have some stats on me that you're gonna help me out. But it just, I was shocked to hear that stat because I did not. It was like the Mandela effect. I was like, really? It's been that long? I didn't feel it.
So since that 3-0 series win in December of 2021, Pakistan lost 1-0 against Australia in April of 2022. And then Pakistan lost 4-3 against England in September of 2022. And then Pakistan had drawn 2 series in April of 2023 and then April of 2024 against New Zealand. And then this is Pakistan's first series win at home since then.
1-0 to Australia. Was that the only T20 series that we played? Like only
it
T20
could be
game?
like a one-off match that we had because that was a pretty long series. Like we had like 3 ODIs, we had 3 test matches.
1 T20, maybe 2 T20s, and one got rained out. I don't remember quite exactly how that one went down, but it's just, man, honestly, it's just nice to be in the winnings. That's all I'm saying. Like it feels like it's we've turned over a tide, and now we're just moving forward with this momentum, and it feels good to be here.
We're getting a lot of criticism for getting carried away with our emotions, our celebrations, and let me just clarify: we are not celebrating a series win against Bangladesh at home. And I do acknowledge this is probably a beast-strong Bangladesh team because Taskin Ahmed is not here. Mustafiza Rahman is not here. Nahid Rana pulled out of the series. And most recently, Shoaib Islam got injured. So that's like 4 of their frontline pacers, which construct of the majority of their bowling attack. What we're actually celebrating and rejoicing is the fact that Pakistan has changed the way they approach T20s. Something we've been calling for at least the past 12 months, and what should have been done maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So this is Pakistan cricket changing the direction, having a new management, having a new captain. We keep saying it's a new era, but this genuinely is a new era.
Yeah, I think I'm glad that you made that clarification because a lot of people were on the side of like, oh my God, look at how bad the Pakistan cricket team has fallen, that these Pakistani supported podcasters are just supporting or just rejoicing on a win against Bangladesh at home or a series win at this point. And it was never that. It was always about the direction of cricket that we felt like was wrong, and that whichever way Pakistan played cricket in the past at least 24 months in T20s was not what you and I had signed up for, or not the Pakistani fan base had signed up for. We have been calling for a Mohammad Haris, Saim, Ayub, Fakhar Zaman to be in this squad for a very long time. And we've maybe been calling the old heads of the old guard to either improve, re-innovate their game, or sit back and let the young'uns take over as what happened with India in 2007, and they won that World Cup. Now, the happiness that we feel is because finally, whatever we have been plotting or hypothesizing, you and I and the 10,000 people that watch this podcast every week, whatever we've been hypothesizing, it's come to fruition in the most beautiful way possible. In both the games, Saim Ayub did not perform. And in both the games, Pakistan won with a convincing margin. This is the second 200 score that they've done in sequence, in succession, since 5 years or 6 years. It was a crazy stat I read by Muzar Arshad. And like stuff like this is pouring in, and I'm looking at who are the key performers and who's actually going out there and scoring the runs. I'm looking at unfamiliar names, Bashar. This is a brand new feeling as a Pakistan cricket fan, that we are having people winning us games who have not been represented properly in the Pakistan cricket setup. And kudos to the management for making that happen.
We were speaking about Pakistan scoring 200 plus, and here are the numbers provided by the broadcast team on Pakistan scoring 200 plus in the last 4 years. So in 2021, Pakistan scored 200 plus 4 times. In 2022, Pakistan scored 200 plus once. In 2023, Pakistan scored 200 plus 0 times. Last year, in 2024, Pakistan scored 200 plus only once. And in this year, which is we're just 5 months in, Pakistan has already scored 200 plus 3 times. So if you combine Pakistan's 200 plus scores in the last 3 years, that is still less than what we've scored just in these 5 months.
What does that tell you about what kind of cricket Pakistan is now starting to play?
Aggressive, attacking, with intent, fearless, but not careless. I'm loving Pakistan's power play scores. Last match, they were 5 for 2, but they still scored 60 odd in the power play. This match, they lost Saim early on, and they still scored 67 in the power play. Pakistan's joint highest power play score against Bangladesh in T20I.
This is a stat by Mazhar Arshad that I was just quoting. I'm just going to quote it straight from the horse's mouth. After 7 long years, Pakistan have scored 200 in back-to-back T20Is. 7 years.
Right. So this is not about the opposition. This is not about Pakistan winning the one-off game against New Zealand or beating this Bangladesh B-strong style at home. This is more about Pakistan changing their mindset, their mentality. And for the first time in years, us as Pakistan cricket fans can rally behind this team because we can understand what's happening with respect to the opening pair, with the middle order, with the all-rounders, with the team formation, with the bench strength. There's some sort of logic behind things. And oftentimes, Pakistan cricket and logic don't go hand in hand.
This is like the first time that I've seen that Pakistan has a problem. Not a problem, but the Pakistan captain now has variety in his bowling. 8 bowlers were bowled today in the Pakistan camp. And Pakistan had sort of already sealed the deal and then tried to introduce Khushdil and Saim into the fray and see what they could get out of them. I think that's very genius because you're treating these games as they should be, as a practice roundup for your main players to go out and maybe perform in a very highly sophisticated manner and in an environment that is real, but it's still a trial run for when the big competitions happen, the Asia Cups, the Tri-Series, or the World Cups. And I think getting some overs out of Saim and Khushdil is important. That just goes to show where Pakistan stands right now. We had another opening failure by Saim today. Did not matter at all because Sahibzada Farhan picked up the mantle. Haris, we'll go down the list. We'll go innings by innings. Say your piece.
When you talk about Pakistan winning a home series, you have to talk about sending money to Pakistan. And the best way to do that is through Sendwave.
Yes.
Because Sendwave is fast, it's secure, they've got the most competitive rates, and you can use the code SCOREPK for $10 towards your first transfer.
Man, this is the best time to use this code because if you're sending money back home for Eid, for Bakr Eid, if you want to get your animal ready in time and you want to make sure that your quote unquote his size in there, use Sendwave. Get $10 off of your Bakr Eid money, and maybe you can send $10 extra to your family ones, and during Eid time, maybe they can enjoy something significant with that money. In Pakistan, Ruby has a lot of money. And you can use our code SCOREPK, get that $10 off. Enjoy the benefits of Sendwave and just have a good time. Low exchange rates, competitive exchange rates, Eid time, it's all happening.
And it makes sense to use it for the first transfer because you get the most competitive rates and you can use SCOREPK for $10 towards your first transfer.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Pakistan won the toss for the second time in the series and they choose to bat first. One change in the Pakistan lineup, which seems to be a forced change. We are hearing that Fakhar Zaman was not 100% fit for this match.
Where are you hearing this from?
The commentary.
That's what they said?
That's what they said. So maybe some sort of niggle. But the good part is that Pakistan had a backup opener to replace an actual opener.
Man, that's what Ramiz was saying as well during his walking interview with Zainab Abbas during the interval, is that there's it seems like after a very long time, Pakistan has a squad where if one person sits out, you can just replace that one person immediately with a like-for-like person, like-for-like personality. And even though Fakhar Zaman is a lefty batsman, he's aggressive, he's attacking, and Sahibzada Farhan, the form that he's in, comes in, replaces him, gets 70 off 40, seals the deal for Pakistan. When was the last time you were this comfortable and confident in a side like this? Like, anybody off the bench can come out and score 70. Anybody on the playing 11 can come out and score 70 off 40. Like, This is the well-roundedness that I'm talking about. And as soon as you fit the right characters and the right pieces in the right areas, Bashar, it just seems like everything is gelling so much better than it was before. Mike Hesson on the top, Hanif Malik as his number 2, Salman Liaga as his number 3. You got experience in there and young ones. People want to come out there and prove themselves, make a name for themselves. Some people want to prove themselves, just improve upon their legacy, like the Hassan Alis and Shadab Khans of the world. I think it's a great call. I'm very excited for what happens next.
I think it's important to remind everybody how crazy Sahibzada Farhan's last few months have been. So his record just this year in T20s he scored 1,128 runs at a batting average of 62.6, a batting strike rate of 172.2.
He has
4 centuries, 6 50s. He's faced 655 balls and he scored 67 sixes. So he's kind of like averaging 10 balls per 6.
He's hit the most sixes in the past 12 months for any T20 batter. That has names like Abhishek Sharma in there as well.
And he was the top run scorer of the PSL with a strike rate of 152. And it's crazy to me looking back that Farhan was not picked in the initial PSL draft. Like, what the hell is going on with the PSL?
I mean, we've talked about this, and it's actually a very interesting conversation going on around. I don't know if you're following this, Bashar. Anwar Mohammad Naeem, his inclusion in the emerging category, and his insistence by the Lahore Qalandars to play him in every single game as an emerging player, kind of like shooting 2 birds with 1 stone type situation. And there was a counter argument by Mazhar Arshad, and a lot of people retweeted that, including me from Backward Point, which I think believes the counter argument is important, where the emerging category itself and having one emerging player compulsory in the 11 is kind of hurting the system. And people like Umair bin Yusuf and not Faisal Akram, emerging from Islamabad last year.
Uneja?
That one. Qasim Akram, Farhan bin Yusuf, Umair bin Yusuf, those guys are not getting game time, not getting selected in certain instances. Sahibzada Farhan also in one of those categories, not getting selected because maybe their emerging category was out. Maybe they're, you need to get one of these people in the squad and make sure that you play one of them in the team. So there's no point in selecting them. There is a flaw in that system of drafting. And to think that Sahibzada Farhan was just not even remotely a part of that apparatus is insane now in hindsight, because the year that you said he's had is insane. And I feel like if he gets the chance, like, I'm so bummed out. It's always the case when like Pakistan wins 11 straight series, there's no T20 World Cups. When Pakistan is feeling good, looking good, the T20 World Cup is like 12 months away, man. Like, I want it to be like 2 months from now so that we can just rally behind this World Cup and make sure that this team does really well. I like where this is headed, though. The option of too many, as Agha said in his post-match press conference. I think that as Agha brings in new life and new air into this team, the people underneath his banner are also picking up the mantle and making sure that they find themselves adding to whatever the quality of cricket Pakistan wants to play and not taking away from it. And I haven't seen that in a long time.
Farhan has played for Pakistan before. This is his 10th match, like his 3rd or 4th comeback. What's interesting is 4 plus 3, 7, 8. So 10 innings he's played for Pakistan, and he's played all 10 innings in 5 different spots. He's played as an opener, so first position, second position. He's also played at number 3. He's also played at number 5, and for some reason, he's also batted at number 7. So we're talking about players playing out of their place, the Pakistan team not being able to adjust for the right players coming in. And this is also a crazy stat where Pakistan has used the most number of opening pairs in the last 12 months. They also have the lowest batting average for an opening pair in the last 12 months. So just shows how much instability there was. Pakistan as a team did not know what their best combination was. But I think now we have a good idea of our 2 best openers are Saim and Fakhr, and then we have Farhan as a backup.
Do you want to have the Saim and you conversation right now?
Let's do it.
Because there are some accounts online and even on the Patreon chat, some people were a bit hesitant and like, hey, red flags, Saim Ayub not making runs. After the injury, Saim has looked shaky and rusty. And I don't want to say underconfident, but just there seems like a weight on his shoulders where he just has to go out and perform. I don't want to compare him to Babar Azam, but Babar Azam has not scored a century in over, how old is my son? 20 months. And it's taken a toll on him. I feel like a similar type of weight is being shifted onto Saim and his form. And it's not exactly the same, but it's the pressure that I see Saim taking right now just to score some runs and get going is immense. Do you feel like that's happening, or do you think that there's something else going on?
I think there is pressure because before Saim got injured, the hype around him was absolutely insane.
Diabolical.
Like the past couple of tours he had against South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Australia were just phenomenal for him as a player, as a batter.
And him scoring equal to us winning in places where we haven't won in years, decades even.
Correct. So I think Saim's form is a concern, but we have to also consider the fact that he was injured and out for about 3 to 4 months. January, he gets injured. He misses the Champions Trophy. He fractures his ankle. So he's basically doing rehab in the UK. And he comes back to Pakistan, starts playing cricket in the PSL. So basically, he's jumping right back into competitive cricket. And since his comeback in the PSL, he's played 12 matches in T20s, averaging 14.8 and a strike rate of 123. So he's batted 14 times and only thrice has he got it into double digits. So I think
last 10 games, only 2 times.
Yeah, looking at his numbers, I think he's struggling to get going. But when he does get going, he does score big. So he scored 50 off 38, 49 off 33, 47 off 31 every time he's gotten past double digits. So I just think it's the nervousness probably in the initial part of his innings that's bothering him.
Yeah, I think so, because he's getting out in the most laziest fashions. Like the first game that he got out, soft dismissal, just leading edge straight to the bowler, right? Golden duck. And then today gets himself run out, going for a third.
You know what it is? I think it's the fact that Saim is opening for the first time with Farhan and they don't know their communication ways that well.
Yes and no. There is a chemistry when you're opening for sure. You want to stay with the same opener as long as possible, because you develop that repertoire. And when you're opening, it's just you guys against a new ball. It's the best bowler with the toughest ball to play, and you and your partner are the ones who are dealing with it. So there is some sort of camaraderie with the openers. It's like when I used to open, I remember I used to want to open with my guy. I was like, he knows how I run. He knows when I don't run. But sometimes it's like you don't have to call a run. You just know that that's going to be a run that my runner or my partner will go for.
It's the understanding you have with the other player. Like I heard Virat Kohli speak about running between the wickets with Dhoni, and they won't even say yes or no. They would just have a communication within their eyes. Like they know it's a double.
Man,
they just run for it.
You heard Virat Kohli and then you heard me talk about running as well. And it's almost the same thing. It feels like for some fans.
How's your side strain?
My side strain is better, man. The results came in. Ultrasound. I thought it was a grade 2 tear, but it turned out to be nothing. Just a little bit of a sprain, and 2 weeks, and I'll be back for playing for cheer.
Nice.
How does that sound, Mr. Captain and Selector?
We will monitor your fitness.
All right, whatever.
You will need to pass a yo-yo test.
Yo-yo test, yeah. But like that may be the case, Bashar, but they are professionals, and it just seems like Saim is very. There's a difference between being hungry for runs and being desperate for runs. Babar, desperate for runs. Kohli, hungry for runs. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Saim has sort of crossed that threshold of being hungry to being desperate. He just needs a knock in international cricket that's like a 55 off 25, 55 off 30, so he can get that monkey off his back. And maybe the next game is going to be that.
Yeah, just the way he was standing after he got run out. So basically, he slipped on the grass and he wasn't able to go back in the crease to be saved. And he stood there for like 10 seconds. He couldn't believe what just happened.
Yeah.
And that just happens when you're not in form, when you're getting unlucky back-to-back matches. So hopefully Saim comes back in form. They should give him a longer run.
You know someone who is in form? Freaking Mohammad Haris, bro. Freaking Mohammad Haris.
Yeah.
Now, you do have an issue with him, and we'll get to that issue. But right now, as it stands, this man has scored 41 off 25 today. I had a strike rate of 164. Yesterday, he scored 30 off 18 or something. Another strike rate of 180, 175 there. This man is just coming out. He knows that he's only here to bat till 6.1 overs. If it hits 6.1, he's out. Automatically, he throws his wicket away.
Well, today he batted to like the 10th or 11th over.
Too much for him. The pressure of just batting in the middle order is just it's too much for him. But he understands the importance of batting in the power play. And Bashar, this man, What can I do? What he's done for Backward Point as a whole can never be forgiven, and what he's doing right now to my soul can never be forgiven or forgot.
What's going to happen to Haris when, let's say, Saim and Fakhr have a good day opening and they bat to like the 7th over? What is Haris going to do then when he doesn't bat in the power play?
He's gonna go crazy. He's gonna go absolutely crazy. It's like when you introduce Mikhail for the first time with sugar, he just goes absolutely insane. It's gonna be one of those things. He's gonna come out
crazy in a good way or bad way?
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Because right now,
Mikhail could bang his head on the wall because there's so much sugar in his head, or he can just like zen out.
Right now, what's happening is that because we're losing early wickets, he's coming in the power play and he is good enough to maximize and utilize the power play. I'm just concerned what happens after like Saim and Fakhr get to a good start.
He adapts. He must. And if he's out there to score big and he just plays 10 balls, gives me 25, I'm okay with that.
That partnership between Farhan and Haris was sort of set the game for Pakistan. 103 off 54 balls. And Sahibzada Farhan did get a bit lucky. There were a few drop catches. Some of them like were half chances. But at this level, you do expect the fielding side to take such catches. And I think I've heard Litan Das in both the post-match conferences. And the bro is frustrated with the fielding standards of the Bangladesh team.
And not only that, he was very frustrated by the way he got out and the run he was denied the delivery before. Man is frustrated, but man cannot show frustration like this on the field. I think. I mean, we are jumping the gun talking about the second innings here a little bit, but this man just looks visibly upset.
Even in the field, like there were a few chances. I think there was some misfield by the Bangladeshi fielders, and he was visibly distraught. I think he even screamed at one of his fielders.
Yeah, but I mean, Sarfraz could do that really well, where he had the balance of being angry and screaming, but not looking frustrated, not looking like the game was slipping away. And there's a difference between Litan Das there, where his desperation, his quiet desperation, or maybe violent desperation comes out and he's like, what the hell are we doing here? You know? And you kind of want to balance that in order to keep that spirit and morale up. Ben, I keep saying this. It's tough to be a Bangladesh cricket fan. It's tough to be a West Indies cricket fan. Maybe the fact that there are no
But we're not too far off either.
No, man. Like I
first
feel like
home series win in 3.5 years.
Bashar, that's true, but we win tournaments every now and then.
Okay. Once every decade.
Whatever. West Indies fans, before that 2014 or 12 T20,
they won 12 and 16.
12 and 16. Before that 12, the first one, they hadn't won anything since 2000, bro. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, they won the Champions Trophy.
Yeah, so like we every decade, once in a while, and before the Champions Trophy, they hadn't won anything since 75 or 78. 79. Like that's another like what 21 years. Like we at least win something every decade. 90s, 2000s, 2010s. You know, 2020s is
something's coming.
Something's coming. It's building up to something, and it's tough being a Bangladesh fan because the wins that they have are just we randomly beat Australia in a World Cup in 2007, or we'll beat maybe India in 2-1 in a home series in 2018, 19. But then now when they have their downs, bro, the troughs are so deep. They lose 3-0 against UAE in Dubai. UAE, bro. And then now they're 2-0 down against Pakistan. And they might be clean swept here. And that might just be the way that the thing goes. Because even the third game, I believe Mike Essen is going to do like a complete rotation, have Naseem in, have Hossein Talat in. And even that team, I believe, will be able to beat this Bangladesh side.
I think in terms of talent, Bangladesh's bowling attack, and this might be my hot take, but this is probably one of their best bowling attacks that they've had ever. Right? Look at the pace attack. They have, if everyone's fit and performing, Taskin Ahmed, 145 clicks, outswing. Mustafizur Rahman, 140 clicks, in swing. Nahid Rana, 150 clicks, the fastest bowler in Bangladesh history. Rishad Hussain, leg spin. Probably the only leg spinner in Bangladesh history. I don't remember anybody else.
You went for 50 today, by the way.
Right. But I'm just saying they have the talent and potential that if they get their cards right, they can pull off some wins.
Man, we need like a Bangladesh cricket podcast. Maybe there isn't one because it would just be them screaming at each other.
Well, we met a few fans last year at the T20I, and they do a podcast on Facebook.
Oh yeah, now that I remember, now that you say that, yeah, I do remember that. I was blown away by the Bangladeshi support at the Champions Trophy game that we went to.
Oh yeah,
those are like rabid fans, and some of those fans showed up at Gaddafi Stadium for both the games as well. So I respect the fandom. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disrespect the fandom. I'm just saying the Bangladesh cricket team, they have to respect the fandom. You know what I mean? They have to do something every now and then where they kind of bring that core fandom back, because I believe the Bangladeshi fans are way more passionate than Pakistani fans are. If Pakistan was right now playing Bangladesh at home, the stands would be full. Lahore was 70% full by the end of the game. So there is something to be said about the fandom versus what the team is delivering. We get really tired of our players quickly and our team very quickly. You know, I think it's because our expectations are higher and maybe their expectations are lower as Bangladeshi fans. But they have to come and do something, man. They've had players like Shakib, who scored 700 runs and took like 10 wickets in 2019 World Cup. But individual performances like that cannot do them anything good. They have to find a way to work as a team.
The one thing I loved about Pakistan's batting today was the flexibility. So Pakistan lost their second wicket at the end of the 10th over. But so on the batting scorecard, Salman Agha was the next guy in. But he sent Hasan Nawaz ahead of himself, because I think he felt like Hasan Nawaz has a better matchup against spin. And we saw him score 51 off 26 balls, 3 sixes, 2 boundaries. And I just like the fact that Pakistan is not going in with a set batting order. It's flexibility. It's fluid. It depends on how many overs are done. It depends on entry points for batters. And I think this is the way forward.
That's the Mike Hessen effect, isn't it? That's what happens in...
Lesson from Hessen.
Lesson from Hessen. That's what happens in Islamabad United. Nobody's really set after number 1 and 2 and 3.
Sal Mike era.
The Sal Mike era. People are liking the ring of that, bro. That has something. I mean, you might be onto something. I mean, you may have coined something that when we look back would be like, hey, that's the backward point owned.
Nobody knows where the term baseball originated.
Sal Mike.
But guys, if Sal Mike becomes a thing, you know it's me.
Yeah, backward point owned TM. Yeah, Hasan Nawaz comes out. He's the player of the tournament, right? We talked about this. Series. Yeah, player of the series. Like, he's gonna be the guy.
There's no BYD card this time.
No BYD, but like you get that sweet prize, and you got a sure spot at number 4 or 5 for Pakistan, which itself is an honor.
I think we heard was it Abrar or Agha? Somebody said that Hasan Nawaz does not want to open anymore because he is preferring to bat in the middle order.
Agha said that, yeah. Agha, I mean, he's on a roll here from the PSL to even playing in international. It's very hard to translate those PSL numbers to international, but this is the advantage of playing a home series right after the PSL that you played at the similar ground. The muscle memory is there. You know, Bashar, the muscle memory is there. And it's not that hard to turn that on and off. And Hasan Nawaz, the way he's rolling out, I want to see more.
The platform Pakistan had set, thanks to Farhan and Haris, I don't think they were able to finish that way. I thought Pakistan would score somewhere like 220, 210 at least. But I was surprised that Shadab Khan and Fahim Ashraf went ahead of Huizul Shah. So Farhan got out at 15.4. And I thought this is the perfect time to send in Huizul Shah because he is good at hitting pace towards the end. He is a lefty, so he gives you that left-right combination. But instead, Pakistan backed Shadab Khan.
Yeah, Shadab himself felt like he let the team down from his 7 runs off 10 balls. He was trying to hit, to be fair, but this is where I want to give some credit to the Bangladeshi bowlers. I think those last 3 overs were phenomenal. Hitting the jackpot almost every time, bowling lengths, bowling variations of pace, making sure that the batsmen get beat. Even that shot that Shadab Khan got out on, a little bit more pace on that, he might have hit that over the stands, over the fielder for 6, but because they're varying pace, varying length, it was very hard to pick them up. And Shadab Khan, Fahim Ashraf, even Hasan Nawaz to some degree was feeling the heat of that. And that's why they weren't able to score 220. And 201 with the momentum they had, I kind of thought that Pakistan would have been in trouble there.
The 3rd consecutive 201 score in Lahore.
That's a coincidence.
PSL final, 1st match, 2nd match.
Man, what a coincidence on that. Yeah, that's wild. I think this pitch and these types of scores are perfect for T20s. I don't think 228, 238, 250 is a good score on T20s. Somewhere between the 180 to 210 mark, that's probably where it's the most fun and engaging. And Pakistan's been hitting right in the middle of that.
If you want to hit in the middle of the bat and you want to purchase a bat, you have to go to yashisports.com because yashisports.com is Canada's home of cricket. They are the go-to spot to buy your equipment if you're in North America. They provide free shipping on orders of $350 and up. They've got a range of equipment, whether you're a beginner, whether you're a pro player. They've got everything you can possibly imagine with respect to cricket equipment. And you can use the code BP10 for 10% off your purchase at yashisports.com.
Yashi Sports, always a delight when they sponsor the podcast, and they've been doing it for almost 6 to 8 months now. Thank you very much for sponsoring this episode, and many more to come with that as well. Second inning started, Bashar, Saim Ayub, sorry, not Saim Ayub, Saman Liaga took the ball, and I thought this was an interesting little matchup. I thought it was smart. They weren't basically playing by the books, and there was no quote-unquote script that they were trying to follow. They were trying to go, they were trying to take the game as it came to them. Didn't really work out, but I liked the effort.
So basically, because Bangladesh has two left-handed openers, Pakistan thought that Salman Al Liaga opening the bowling with his right arm off spin would be a good matchup because the ball's spinning away. And also, we've seen in the past how Mohammad Hafiz just owns lefties when he used to open the attack for Pakistan. And the idea was right. Execution, probably not. I also want to give respects to Tanzid Hassan, who just smashed the ball all over the place. I think 2 4s, 1 6, and that 6 was just a crazy shot over covers. Not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous in the first 3 overs to kind of start that Bangladesh got out to.
Like 36-3 or something. It was crazy.
44 for 1 at the end of the fourth over.
Yeah.
And I thought they were like on track for chasing this down because their run rate was 12 and the required rate was 10.
Yeah, it was like 9.6
Yeah.
or something.
And I thought if they had batted a bit more sensibly, they could sort of have the platform to chase us down.
I totally agree. I think they let the plot get away from them on their own. I think there wasn't any brilliance from Pakistan. Maybe some absolutely vital and destructive bowling from Abrar Ahmed, but everything else was just soft dismissals, not really picking out their gaps as well. In a pitch like this, Bashar, in a game like this, where it's a do or die for them to stay alive in the series, you have to take the game deeper, right? You're already 33 off 18. You're Tanzid Hassan. I know you want to go off completely, but give yourself some time. You know, maybe take a couple balls and give the other person a strike. I think the first 10 or 12 balls of this Bangladesh innings were just played by Tanzid straight up. And that just kind of mounts pressure on the guy on the other hand. And then that comes back on you because you're not rotating the strike. Cricket is such a weird game where rotation of strike is so important. If your partner is on the other end, he's just been there for a long time. It just, for some reason, it amounts to this pressure on your striker, and it feels like he hasn't touched the ball in like ages. And it's just a weird game how that chemistry and how that partnership needs to flow from both sides of the pitch and not just the one.
Pakistan also took some really good catches in the field, and I think ultimately the difference between Pakistan and Bangladesh in this match was their fielding. Bangladesh dropped half chances. Pakistan took some more challenging opportunities. The catch by Hasan Ali in the first wicket by Pervez Hussain Iman was pretty good because he was running backwards under lights and he took a catch quite cleanly, especially considering the trauma that Hasan Ali has with high catches at night.
Yeah, you said that. I didn't say that. I think he's trying to get over it, but you keep reminding him that you have trauma over this. I know the catches were pretty good this game. Even the one that I brought caught against Fahim against Tanzid, that was a really quick rocket delivery of Bashara. Like he just stuck his hand out. It stuck there, but you could feel the pressure of that because he was shaking that arm, not really celebrating that wicket. There were some really good catches done. I think there was one catch by Saim Ayub, which was really good on the boundary as well by on Abrar's bowling. I like this. You know, when you get young blood into the team, you tend to get experiences like this where the catching gets better, the running between wickets get better, which is ironic because Saim got run out. But just the fielding itself gets tighter, and partner that up with Irfan Khan Niazi also just coming in, subbing in every now and then. You get another strong fielder in the deep. So
just look at Pakistan playing 11. I think our weakest fielder in this entire lineup is Abrar Ahmed.
Yeah, and he got a good one today.
Which shows that Pakistan, with this squad, also has a good fielding team. Because back at the Champions Trophy, Pakistan was struggling to hide fielders on the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Naseem Shah, sorry, can't catch.
Cannot field.
Can't throw. You're hiding him at third man or fine leg. Abrar Ahmed, slow, stiff. You got to hide him as well. Imam ul Haq, overweight. Fielding for some reason at backward point.
Yeah, why not?
Right? So I think Pakistan...
Shame on backward point.
Pakistan is also developing into a good fielding side. And we have a pretty good fielding coach, Masroor, who has been through the ranks of the Pakistan coaching scene from under 19s to Karachi Kings and now to the Pakistan team. So I'm hoping...
Agha, Fahim Ashraf, Shadab Khan, Khushdil Shah, Saim Ayub, Irfan Khan Niazi, who was a sub. So these are just like top class fielders.
Yeah.
Haris is a great keeper behind the wickets as well. Like, you're right. If you put these people in hot spots, you can expect them to be caught.
Yeah. I saw Sahibzada Farhan fielding on backward point today after a very long time.
Yeah. Iconic place, iconic game. I don't want to mention it. Fuck. Pakistan 2017 Champions Trophy backward point was being fielded by Sahibzada Farhan. Just FYI.
Pakistan using 8 bowling options.
I mean,
They could have just gotten Hasan Nawaz and Farhan to roll their arm over.
Hasan Ali.
Sorry? No, I said if Pakistan gets Hasan Nawaz.
Oh, if they get them. Okay, my
and
bad.
Farhan to roll their arm over, that would have been 10 bowlers used.
Is that a record? Probably.
Maybe a record.
International cricket. I mean, the last 2 bowlers, Khurshid and Saim, the last 5 overs were just kind of like, you know what I mean?
The game was done, and I think
and it's important to get overs off of people that you normally wouldn't. 3 from Khurshid, 2 from Saim. They're trying to get them part of the game. Saim and Khurshid definitely quote unquote all-rounders, and Agha wants to know how reliable they would be. 2 overs 14 from Saim and 3 overs 25 from Khurshid. They get a wicket apiece. I think it was a good experiment. I don't mind it at all.
This is such a breath of fresh air because if you look back, let's say 12 months back, Pakistan would play 5 specialist bowlers, 3 specialist pacers, 2 spinners, probably all-rounders, and then our 6th bowling option, and our only other bowling option would be Iftikhar Ahmed. If you remember back in 2022, when Shaheen Afridi gets injured, we had to get Iftikhar Ahmed to bowl in the finals against Ben Stokes. That is a Ben Stokes moment.
Yes.
And I don't mean Ben Stokes.
You mean the other one? Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a problem. And we've been screaming for a fast bowling all-rounder to come and join this squad for, 2022? 21 maybe?
We did a whole podcast on Pakistan's search for a fast bowling all-rounder.
Akin to
which I'm going to link right here. And we did this podcast 2 years ago.
Yeah, totally. And we finally feel like we found the guy. His name is Saim. He was there all along. You know, he's like that in rom-coms. He's the friend that gets neglected, and the girl is chasing the hot guy, and the hot guy breaks their heart. And then it turns out the friend was the guy that she should have been with all along. Fahim Ashraf is that guy.
I want to see Fahim improve his bowling. I want to see improvement in his pace. I want to see him developing an actual outswinger with the new ball, because if we are expecting him to bowl in the power play, he needs to just have more than the scramble seam.
This is Bashar is saying this after Fahim has bowled 2 overs, 8 runs and a wicket, 7 dot balls. Bashar is like, do better.
Because I don't want him to be just a container. I want him to take wickets up front. And if you can swing the ball like Hardik Pandya does, like Chris Wokes does, like Ben Stokes does, like Cameron Green does, he could be an even more lethal fast bowling all-rounder.
Yeah, Fahim Pandya will be lethal if that was a thing. But I hope this podcast goes out to him and listens to, and he gets a listen there. I think it was a clinical.
The idea is that the reason why you want to have more bowling options is because to expect your 5 main bowlers to have a good day at the same time is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Right? If everybody is having a good day, you will get the other team out for like 100. But that never happens. So because you have 7, 8 bowling options, if someone's not having a good day, you can get other bowlers to come in and pitch in.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised to hear the commentary. Amir Suhail and Ramiz Raja, 1992 World Cup winning opening pair. They're talking about Pakistan needs to have specialist players. Why do they have players of bits and pieces? Like, this is not cricket. This is cricket. This is how modern day cricket has evolved.
Jack of all trades.
And to think that Ramiz at one point was at the head of the helms at the PCB, it's just insane.
Yeah. We gave that guy the key to the city and he burned it down.
Like I feel like he has something against Mohammad Haris and Haider Ali. Because every time they're batting and he's commentating, he's always doing some negative commentary.
Yeah. It's not positive reinforcement from him. I mean, they all have agendas, right? I think Haris kind of threatens Babar when Babar was Ramiz's Wonder Boy. So you can sort of see that through line whatever commentary happens. Kind of sucks, but at this point, Pakistan is 2-0 up. They have one more game tomorrow. And then we'll just probably do a series wrap up maybe the day after, because we will be busy tomorrow with the Toronto Blue Jays cricket day at the park. God knows when we'll come back and how we'll feel. So we might.
What should Pakistan do in the game on Sunday? Do you want to see bench rotation?
Yeah,
do you want to see Hasan Ali out, Naseem Shah in?
Yes, I want to see Hasan Ali out, Naseem Shah in. I want to see
Haris Rauf out, Abbas Afridi in.
Yes, give me that. Who else? If Fakhr is still injured, just send him out. The series is done. Keep this Farhan and Saim prayer going on.
Hussain Talat on the bench.
Hussain Talat on the bench, Hussain Talat on and Fahim in the bench. That's probably what I would do. Sufyan Muqim is not in the squad, is he?
No, he's not.
I would
But what I've heard is that he is part of the larger squad.
Of course, the
And
25
they,
man.
they picked more pacers because the Lahore pitch suits fast bowling.
Yeah.
And as we've seen so far, there's not a lot of turn on offer. So there's no point in playing Sufyan and Abrar together.
For sure, I get that. And maybe Sufyan would go to West Indies with them, or US or wherever they're playing as well. So that might be an interesting little pairing. I just want to see a good game, man. Last game, I really don't care if they lose or win. I just want to see a tight game, a good game. I want to see this momentum being carried forward. And
Hasan Nawaz out, Irfan Khan Niazi.
sure, yeah, do that if that must be the case. They play a completely different 11. I'm totally fine with that. I would love to see some guys get some game time, some runs in. Because what a wonderful place to be in if you're Salman Liaga. If Hasan Nawaz sits out, Irfan Khan Niazi comes in and he scores a 50 off 35. You're just like, oh wow, I'm so blessed.
Because Agha mentioned that I think Pakistan has around 30 more games before the next T20 World Cup.
Really? 30?
Yes. And Pakistan wants
crazy.
to experiment and try different squads. But 1 month before the World Cup, he wants to have a set 15-man squad. He wants to have set roles. And he wants 10 guys sitting in the NCA.
He said that.
Anybody gets injured.
What a comment. What a progressive comment, honestly, from the
The
Pakistan
bar
captain.
is so low that when Salman Agha is talking some sense, we're just flattered.
I'm crying. I'm crying when the press conference is happening. Salman Liaga is dropping bars like this.
And he's
I'm like,
saying water is wet, the sky is blue, the sun gives us energy.
thank you very much for just enlightening us, Salman Liaga. I feel rejuvenated. You talk about the sun is giving energy. I feel like photosynthesis is happening with Salman Liaga's word in my ears. This is a great time to be a Pakistan cricket fan. I think the dark days are over. The dog days are over, to quote Florence the Machine. And we're on the right track, man. We're on the right track.
It's always darkest before the dawn.
It's always darkest before the dawn. Thank you very much for tuning in to Backward Point. We might not do a podcast tomorrow night and just come back on Monday with a series review. Might be more of the similar things. Do check out our Patreon options on the description below. Check out our sponsors, Sendwave, Toronto Blue Jays. If you're listening to this before 1 p.m. on Saturday, May 31st, come along if you're in the GTA. And obviously Yashe Sports, who has been near and dear to our heart for almost a year now. So that partnership has been long and strong. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to the Patreon chat. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.